Hello survivors, hello, welcome to the stream guys. I hope you're feeling good. Having a good Monday. Take the welcome text off nice and early. Nice and early. If you are logged into YouTube, guys, don't forget, always hit that like button. It is appreciated on streams, on videos. YouTube's a weird place. Even if you watch my streams regularly, unless you hit that like button, it doesn't really think you know, like actually enjoy liking my content. It's like they tune into the stream like every day, every time it comes on the stream, but misses the like button sometimes. Nah, doesn't like it. Doesn't like it. But yeah, welcome to the stream, guys. What's up, Vaz, Willy Boss, and Sir Spartacus, top 3 of the stream. I do appreciate you tuning in. We also have Valiant, Cygnus, Kathy, J Floyd, and Daylight. I hope you're all having a good day, guys. You're all feeling good. I started a little bit late. I meant to start about an hour ago, but time got away from me. I continued playing Starfield after my stream, but I just had a little break and I chilled out a little bit. The next mission that I was on, it was hilarious. It was hilarious. I won't give it away, but it was actually funny. If you ever play Starfield, the mission was called First Contact. It was really funny. I do love it. I do love that game. It's good fun. It's good fun. I'm getting lost in it. Very immersive. Very immersive. Very immersive. Short answer, yes. Long answer, absolutely. You say this. But I'm thinking of not getting Omid. And I'm actually thinking of never getting an event character again. I'm thinking of completely switching up my tactics. My tactics have always in RTS been go for the event character. It's air quotes what you enjoy. But I don't enjoy grinding for these characters at the moment. I really don't. So easy way to avoid having to grind for them is if I just don't even go for them. And then what I do is I get what I can from just playing and I spend it on other stuff. Like for instance, in the grey market this time around, we have the weapon, which I think is better than Omid. I could definitely put that to good use, especially on my strong team. And we have tons of mods, you know, which I could definitely pick up as well. I might pick up like one copy of the event character just for like collection purposes, but 95% of the event characters I don't use. I just think of all the Paragon mods I could have had on my roster if I didn't bother going for that. You know, sentimental value on collecting characters versus actual, you know, account progress. I'm getting the weapon first and grade 5 Omid. Okay. Yeah. I mean, you have to buy stuff to get both. A small amount. I was semi-willing to do that, honestly, before the event started, but I'm not willing to do that now. Not really. The amount they're asking people to do in this event is crazy. I think for like 5% of Omid, LB3, 5% of his LB3, having to war for like 10 plus hours, nah. You can get stuffed with that. You can get stuffed with that, mate. They need to do the mission requirements and then realise how ridiculous what they're asking people to do is, for real. That's just my thoughts on it. What's up, Sean, as well? Welcome to the stream. Weird Girl as well. Thank you very much for tuning in. Hando, hello. What's up, Bretlands? I already ran him in lead dev team. He's legit. I mean, I think if you're buying the character, it's different. Obviously, you're gonna. These missions aren't an issue for you. You can just skip the ones you don't want to do anyway. What about the governor? Will there be more roadmaps? The roadmaps last for 4 weeks, and the way it'll work is there'll be an alternation of awakening characters. So the second governor ends, a new awakening character will come in. The next awakening character, I believe, is meant to be Cal. We had Lee come out last week, so then 2 weeks after Lee, Governor will leave, Cal will come in. 2 weeks after Cal comes in, Lee will leave, and then either Maggie or Glenn will come in, who are meant to be after that. And that's how it'll probably continue to roll. That's another reason why I'm kind of having to think about how I play these events and stuff now, because these awakening events are so draining in terms of just pure time. I'm not even talking about, there's no difficulty in this stuff. I get through all of this stuff zero problem. It's pure time. Pure time. And basically, I can't be bothered anymore. It's too much time. It's too much time. I've calculated that you have to run like 800 waves every single awakening event. 800 waves. No? Let's just say a wave takes 30 seconds. So it's going to take 400 minutes. You're looking at just about 8 hours worth of gameplay just to run the roadmaps. See how crazy that is? Crazy. It's crazy. That's without the SR. I mean, SR tournaments, I don't mind things being attached to things that already exist, because you were already doing them anyway, I would assume. Right? I would assume. But yeah, SR tournaments take a lot of time as well. But at least you can rinse SR in 2 hours every week. I mean, again, yeah, it's rough, but yeah. His active is annoying and he has to be taken care of early. I'm not saying he's a bad character. Not at all. I'm just saying about the grind. That's all. Some of the requirements are just crazy. That's all. Like 300 wars, for instance. Winning 300 war battles would take someone, generally speaking, that takes between 8 and 10 hours. Regardless of how, air quotes, good you are. Because if you're really good, you're going to be in a good faction. And that means you're going to be competing with other people doing exactly what you're doing. And you're lucky if you score more than like 10, 14k in a war. Generally speaking. The only way you're really going to do that more than that is if your faction is really, really good at overkill. You're going to score more. And you're going to maybe get in a slightly more attacks, but not by much. Not by much. In terms of per war basis, sure. But in terms of time, I don't think it'll be by that much. So it'll still take you a long time to get it done. And my issue with the game right now is just pure time. Time is a metric that they're not really calculating for, and it's just, well, I mean, maybe they are. Maybe they are. I know it's a gacha game mechanic. Make things take ages to do, to make people want to spend, but in my mind, that's just kind of poor design, but yeah. I forgot Warrior Champions is coming up. I mean, let's be honest. 95% of factions going to Warrior Champions, it makes zero difference. It doesn't matter what your teams are in Warrior Champions. If you qualify, that's all that matters. No, I'm talking, and when I'm 95% is being really, really generous. I don't think 5 factions are going to compete for the top 3. You'll be lucky if 4 do. A lot of the time, it's just 3 factions that are in the top 3. The third place is just solid. They're just third. And then a lot of the time, second solid, they're just second, and then first is solid, they're just first. It's like there's no competition in terms of like the actual battling. Maybe every now and again you get third and fourth battle it out, so there can be that can happen. But generally speaking, 97, 96 of the factions, you could literally roll out with silvers as your defense teams and have zero problems in Warrior Champions. Your defenses would drop quite quickly, but what difference does it make? Zero. There's nothing, when you get to Warrior Champions, nothing to war for a lot of the time. You need to find an RTS streamer you can run mats while you're listening. Yeah, true. I actually said this, guys. One of the issues I'm having at the game is I'm streaming the gameplay quite a lot of the time, rather than entertaining myself while doing it. And I need to watch like a movie on like a certain night of the week and just get through as much of the gameplay as possible. Because I used to save my gameplay for stream, but gameplay for stream now just means running, you know, 50 stages of a roadmap. More. Over and over and over and over again. It's just the same thing over and over and over and over and over again. It's mad. It's mad. And there's no real choice on what I'm doing with this stuff. It's rough. So many of the recent events have been crazy time intensive. Yeah. It's mad. And the only way to skip it is just to get the stuff over spending time on it. That's it. That's all it is. I don't know, man. It's just good. It's good when we talk food, though. Yeah, I had a Chinese yesterday. I did put on my Discord. Do people want to see it? I did highlight Bretland and show him, but I don't think too many other people would have seen it. I can show you guys if you want, but remember, if you see food, some people may get hungry and stuff. I know some people don't like Chinese, so. I can show it if you want me to. Let me see. This was paid for by Bashaum Industries. It was just fried rice, chicken and black bean sauce, some pork balls, and deep fried. I think it was deep fried. I think it was pork. Or no, maybe it might have been beef. And yeah, that went down a treat. I haven't had Chinese in ages. That went down a treat. What's up, Nathan? That went down a treat. Although I haven't had Chinese for such a long time that I had a reasonable bad reaction to the monosodium glutamate in it. Like it was like caffeine. I was awake until like 4 AM. Although I am struggling to sleep at the moment just because of how hot it is, but I desperately need to get an air conditioner for next year. That's high on the priority list. Excess money has to be air conditioner because it's unbearable some days, and it's been really good most of summer, and we're in September and it's the hottest days of the year so far. I'm not making this up, right? It is the hottest days of the year, except that 1 week in June, which was crazy, but July was cool as hell. I don't know, man. Yeah. Well, I think my wife has a unit in her room. Yeah. Maybe link me to the unit you got. My parents got one and it's mad expensive, and I was like, yeah, I'm not sure about that one. I need to look into the ones, and I'm not sure, just in terms of like usability. So Omid is not worth it. I think he's a really, really good character. I'm just kind of losing. I'm getting jaded. I think is it the word jaded? I'm being overworked in these events. We've got 2 awakening events going on at the same time. Plus, now the missions were all happening at the same time. Big thumbs up. That's awesome. The roadmaps is rough, man. The roadmaps is rough. Something needs to be done here. Something needs to be done about this. There is maybe a little bit of an issue with the missions as well. I will bring it up in PC, but I brought up the war stuff in PC, and it was, I mean, I got good feedback. Yeah, this won't happen again, and it happened again. So, I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm kind of losing faith in that stuff. Burned out. Yeah, I'm getting burned out, and it's only been like 1 month of awakening. If this is going to be like this for the next 6 months, a year, I don't know how much I'm going to be able to handle this. You know? We just had like the most intense event ever, the anniversary event with 8 mini events going on. I managed to clear that. But that didn't require you to do anything crazy. It just required you to stay on top of things. Whereas this Omid event is asking you to do crazy, like 10-hour, you know, war campaigns. It's like, yeah, about that. Too many. I mean, that's their bread and butter, you know. That's how RTS makes its money. It hasn't changed. It's been the way it has. If you're complaining about RTS making characters, you either haven't played for very long or not paid attention. It's just like, literally, that's how they play it to make the money. They haven't thought of any other way to make money. There was a phone call that some people had with Scopely. It was about 4 years ago now. And it was like, what do you think could help the game? And the only thing I said was, you guys have got to figure out how to make money without selling power. You figure out how to make money without selling power, you'll have a much healthier game. They just never have. They just never have. And there are other games that have. And obviously things like skins is making money without selling power. So it's like certain types of DLC content, story-based content you could do. Like early access, for instance. I think in some games what they do is they open up like a new roadmap / world stages, and people can farm on it every day, but free to play only get like the last week of the event. So they still get to farm for a week, and they still get to get stuff out of it for a week, and they can still get good stuff even for a week. But if you buy the pass for like $5, you can do it for the entire event. And make it nice and cheap and do it every other month. You know? I don't know. Human stages instead of walkers, I agree. I agree. Because this is mad. I think it should be one wave human stages. You know? I mean, at this point, I'm going to be honest. This is against TOS, but it has crossed my mind. I've thought about just setting up scripts to actually get this done while I'm just at my PC. Just because it's the same thing every time. It's very consistent. It's asking you to do the same thing every time. And if I have to sit here and do what I'm doing here, where I just click the next thing, click the next thing, click the next thing, click the next thing. I mean, why? I can sit here and just watch and make sure it happens and make sure it works, but I don't have to click all that stuff, do I? At this point, I don't bother with war. I only war for like an hour and then I'm done. Yeah, I'm having mixed feelings on war. I'm having mixed feelings. I'm gonna have a serious thought about what I'm gonna do when it comes to war after War Champions. You reckon Awakened Gov? I think Gov is probably the best of the 3 Awakened characters, but he is also competing with the strongest characters in the game, if you understand. Starfield officially ruined Lock. Oh no, not well, to a certain extent. But I played. That's a good comparison. I played Starfield for 6 hours. After that 6 hours, I'm actually on a high from gaming experience. Right at the end, I'm feeling good. Right, I'm feeling good. I play RTS for 6 hours. I'm looking for the closest window. You know what I'm saying? Jump out of it head first. I don't know, man. No, but I think Governor's the best character, but Governor's competing with the best characters in the game. Okay, so like defense characters are the best in the game. They're the best made. They have the best synergies. They're the strongest. Attack characters are just kind of crap in comparison. But what's the difference between a defense character and an attack character is the human, us. We're meant to be the thing that makes that attack character strong by our choices, by what, like our moves and what we do. Whereas defense has to be strong by just the AI doing it, and the AI is stupid, air quotes. So you can set up a defense team and it can be very easy. You get a lot of cookie cutter defense teams at the moment. So like I said, it's just competing with the strongest characters in the game to be good. I think there is some usability for Lee though, and that's why I'm gonna go for Lee. But yeah, generally speaking, like I got Negan, I've tested him out a little bit. I haven't had too many problems with shield so far. I think the biggest problem is you can't really, at least I can't, take on Davy teams with percentage damage consistently and take them out quickly, whereas my burn team takes out Davy teams sometimes like turn 2. I was beating teams turn 1 in the war this past weekend. Just like after their turn, their entire team gets burned down, and that was against top 5 factions who were like, and they all had like loads of ultras and advanced. So it's not like they weren't heavy spenders. I was just rolling them with a burn bleed team. Okay, that works. That's because it's a new game. To a certain extent, I agree, but I can still feel. I mean, I haven't just played it for 6 hours, just so we're clear. I haven't just played it for 6 hours. Checking my Steam account right now. Activity. Since it came out. Profile. Since it came out last Wednesday, I've played Starfield for 30 hours. Since last Wednesday. And I did rinse it at this weekend. I played it for like, I think it was like a combined 15 hours over the weekend. Now, sometimes it was just like on in the background, but 30 hours, and I want to just play it again. I want to play it for another 5 hours right now, you know? Feels like Destiny? Not really, but I get what you're saying. If any of you guys have ever played Skyrim, it's basically like that, but just in space. Just think for a bit more they could put the Awakened Tombs in the Battle Pass. Yeah, it's strange. I think they could have put a character back in Battle Pass. They could have had a character pass that lasts for 3 months, you know? And at any point you can buy in. And when you buy in, you get like enough tokens to claim 2 of them instantly. Like a real feels good pass. It can cost $10, $15, but it lasts for 3 months. Bring out a character like that. Skyrim was fun, it was indeed. It was indeed. But yeah, I mean, this is the thing about RTS at the moment. I mean, I've been streaming for how long? 25 minutes. Okay? And I've been doing this roadmap on Governor. That's all I've been doing. Every stage, just hitting Governor roadmap. I think I've done 1 stage, but I'm going to give them that one for free. How about that? I'm going to give it to them for free. And I've only made it to Act 3 in 25 minutes. There's 10 acts. And I've got to do this every week. Plus, I've got to do it for him. Well, actually, that's something completely different. But plus, I've got to do it for him. And then there's this one. One of these roadmaps needs to be easy. Either getting them with the tokens or getting the actual axes. I think the axe roadmap needs to be much more simple. Getting the axes shouldn't be a grind. Getting the tokens maybe should remain the same. But I think they should simplify this roadmap. Make it like 4 acts max. Right now it's 12. I mean, actually maybe make it 5. Look, you get these last 5 acts. Just leave it at these last 5 acts. And then condense the amount of axes that you get in the rewards. Because, man, this is just brutal. This is maybe okay for a one-time event. But every 2 weeks, or every week with Awakenings, this ain't it. This ain't it. It's definitely ain't it.
Sounds good.
Hey, yo, Mr. C. 48 months. Blue badge, bro. He's only gone and done it. I think you're officially only the 2nd person to get it. The blue badgerino. If it ain't the 4 year, it is, bro. That's sick, bro. Thank you so much. Blue badge looks good, man. The blue badge looks good. I think you're officially the 2nd person. Lord Bradley was definitely first. Think people will leave RTS because of the grinding? I'm thinking that they may feel like their time's not as worth, but they'll still stick around. Like, I'm thinking of how to cut certain other parts of RTS gameplay out of my gameplay. You see what I'm saying? Like, that's why I'm saying, is Omid worth it? Should I grind for this event because I've got all this awakening stuff to do as well? You know? And I'm even got war in the back of my mind. Like, if War of Champions isn't going on, is it worth warring? Probably not. You know, should I leave my faction and just make my own faction outside of War of Champions qualifiers? Is that a way to go? You know? Maybe hit milestones in War of Champions. I could have like games installed on different emulators, and I could queue myself with 4 mercs, and I could just war by myself and get milestones if I really wanted to. Just me versus the other factions. You know? I still have no idea how I've never seen Bradley. Lord Bradley pops in now and again. He's not on every kind of like you, honestly. He's only in every now and again. You're supposed to take a few months off. How close are you, Moon? You must be really close, man. You're like 46, right? Closing in. Are you playing Starfield, Mr. C? Mr. C's got to be playing Starfield. He's got to be. And those milestones would be easy. My second account finished 35. Finished 35th, and War was lovely there. Just auto a lot of teams. Yeah. It'll be really easy as well there, like you say. I'm thinking about it, you know. Because placement rewards aren't really that big a deal. I mean, even milestones aren't, to be honest. I'm thinking about it. I'm thinking about it. And then just join a faction for the 5 wars for World Champions. It's tempting. It's rough. It's shambolic that I'm thinking about this, but in terms of my peace of mind and just how much time and effort I'm having to put into the game, I'm thinking about it. It's a thought, and that's the thought. Who said it before? Hando. Think people will leave RTS. That's what's coming from that for me, is how I can make the rest of my gameplay accommodate the amount of time I'm having to put into just these roadmaps. Because I can't really afford to spend this much time on the game as a content creator, honestly. I can't. It's just way too much time to spend on the game. I gotta be making content. But if I'm spending like 20 hours a week running roadmaps, having a bath, mate, they're having an absolute laugh. I'm glad I'm not warring. Needed a break. I'm in a faction with my ult, just chilling. Can't create a 3rd account for some reason. You have to have it like multiple devices. It looks good though. It's just one problem, Bethesda. I mean, so far so good. There have been a couple of hiccups, but I mean, it's a massive game. But I'm enjoying it. I am enjoying it. It's nice to be able to play a game when it first comes out, you know. It's been a while. And I streamed it earlier, although you probably don't want to watch that stream because my mic was messed up, but I streamed it from my new PC earlier, and it was smooth. My CPU was absolutely purring. It was loving it. War Champions team will it be available for everyone after War Champion? Then that... Well, no, it's everyone. It's available for everyone in War Champions. It's not available for everyone after World Champions. It's just available to everyone in World Champion to claim. I didn't catch a stream. Yeah, I mean, you don't have to. You can just, if you just drop into Twitch, loads of people are streaming it. It's definitely a good fun game. The reason I think they're doing that, Bill King, is basically in calls and from the community, basically the idea was characters being released during the actual Warrior Champions is quite disruptive to the flow of Warrior Champions. Like Eris, for instance, dropping massively changed loads of defenses, and you don't want to learn and have to learn a new defense in the middle of what is like meant to be the biggest competition in the game. So basically they changed up so you work towards the character. I don't know how they're going to do this, but they might give like a token at like the 150k your 150k milestone, which you turn in the grey market afterwards, but just so that you get the character, but it doesn't have any sort of impact on the actual Warrior Champions itself, which I think's fair. It didn't happen in the original Warrior Champions, I believe, because the character was acquired via placement as well as via milestones, so it never had an impact on the actual Warrior Champions until Mythics. I remember when you may not meet like minimal requirements for the game. Yeah, my graphics card is meeting minimum just about, but my CPU is like so far ahead of required. Like recommended, it's like way ahead of it. My CPU's nuts. Need to just hit auto on these. Last year was after 100k milestone in one walk. Yeah, there we go. Whatever the milestone was. But like, they may have it so there's a token that you pick up and then hand that in the grey market afterwards. Basically. It'll be interesting to see what the Warrior Champions weapon is, if they're going to do one this time around. I haven't seen it announced. Like, I haven't seen it. There's a weapon. Maybe I'll have to check back on the previous messages, like for Warrior Champions. My guess is they might have forgot about it. And then like it'll be like a month or two before it comes into the game. We'll have to see. Kind of like it took ages for the faction who won to get up on the war banners. When is the next war? In 2 weeks. In 2 weeks. My faction did really well. Scored over 10 million, I think, right? You guys did really well. Let me just double check. I think I can see it still. Let's see. Swap. 10.14. And now we're up to 69th place, which was 100% tactical. And I think as long as we score 8 million plus, we are guaranteed to qualify. I could be wrong though. I have a 1080 laying around if you're interested. Used to be my old ones. I have a 1660 Super, which is okay. It's just like the bottom of the barrel. It's like the minimum requirement for Cyberpunk, and it's the minimum requirement for Starfield. But my CPU is the other end of the scale. It's a 7950X, so it's just like my CPU is just carrying right now. But I mainly got it because I wanted to just render better and stuff, and maybe do some 3D projects. And my render time is like, for every minute of video, I have a 960 right now. This is my old PC that I'm on right now, but I bought a 1660 Super for my new PC. Yeah, I didn't use the 960 for the no chance. My render time for every 1 minute of video, it takes around about 1 minute and 10 seconds to render it, and that's at full HD, 60 FPS. And I'm blown away by how quick it is. Like a preview video in RTS used to take me 2 hours to render. It's taken me 20 minutes, like 25 minutes to render a 1 minute or 22 minute video. It's just, it's a dream, honestly. It's a dream. I just got like it's really hard to get an emulator working on it. I'm struggling to get my emulator working on there. 16, yeah, it's okay. That's what I mean. It's okay. It's okay, but yeah, 960, man, 960. I tried to put the 1660 in this PC, but it actually broke it. Like, it just wouldn't work. RTS is the only game I play anymore. Used to play console games like Skyrim, but with work and kids, no time. Not even sure my Xbox One works anymore. Well, I mean, the amount of stuff you're having to do in RTS, I can see that has been an issue as well in terms of time. And I have found that as well. Like, I'm dedicating a lot of time to just enjoying gameplay in Starfield. I don't intend to make any content around it. So as a content creator, it's nice to just play a game and not think about that stuff. I did stream it, but I did it just more for fun. I wasn't trying to, like, content create Starfield. It isn't going to happen. I might stream it, like, one more time, if at all. Just to get... It's also was good to test the settings and stuff on my new PC. But I'm probably never going to stream it again. But I might stream it one more time, maybe next weekend, just to make sure the settings are all sorted. Because the microphone was all messed up for some reason. Man, just like so many to do, so many. I've only done 4. We've been streaming for 40 minutes. I've only done 4. This is ridiculous, man. This benefit scum has plenty of times to play games. I think everyone could do a benefits now, man. It's cost of living, bro. It's gone up. Gonna be honest. It's crazy how cost of living has gone up, and my income from advertising hasn't gone up on YouTube. I don't know how that works. It's mad. Hey, what's up, Bert? Welcome to the stream. But Zedek, first time popping in, just wanted to thank you for providing character insight for this game. Helps me decide a lot over the time if I even want the character. I mean, if what I show you on those previews helps you, that's good. I generally just try and do technical previews, how the character works. A lot of the time your power, like your mods, your weapons and stuff like that, can dictate how good a character can be, but I can't really objectively do that for the entire player base, so I just show how they work, and it's up to you to work out, can I make this work to a higher standard? Sometimes I give some insight into what weapons I think could be good, certain characters, you know, and then sometimes weapons come out that I didn't even talk about, like Raven has got so many buffs since her release, it's mad. Is this roadmap tokens for Ascended Garb if I of course grasp the Ascension thing right? It's Awakened. But yeah, effectively Ascension. Exactly, see, Mr. C has not been here, and he hasn't played RTS for this long, and even Mr. C worked out it's basically like an Ascension. So many people were like, oh, this is Limit Break 4. It isn't Limit Break 4. It's 100% like an Ascension. Works exactly the same way. Mr. C even worked it out. And he doesn't even watch the game. But yeah, basically it's taking old Gov, making him better, making his stats a little bit more powerful, making his stats a little bit more like where they air quotes should be, and then making some of his skills a bit more powerful, because a lot of those old characters that had like 60% chance that certain things would happen, whereas now with Gov, for instance, it's 100% chance. And there have been 3 awakened characters. Right now there's only 2 in my museum, which takes 45 seconds to load. There we go. So we have the awakenings. So right now we have Gov that you can work towards, and we have Lee you can work towards, and I already got Negan, as you can see. And basically what it does is, like you can see, as his stats are just a bit more heavy. I think before, like in my previews I always compare their stats and their rushes, but yeah. And it's optional too, you don't have to go for the character. The next character, Cal, I don't think I can afford to go for him. So instead of going for the character, I'm probably going to go for the mods for Cal. Although Cal's ones are going to be defensive, unfortunately. And the bags. That's what I'm probably going to go for, like as a priority. And it's a shame because I really like Cal, but I'm running out of medals. I'm running out of medals like really badly. Really, really, really badly. Okay, I'm going to continue. This is actually a good example, guys. I'm going to do this roadmap the entire stream, and we're going to see how long it realistically it takes to just get through this roadmap. I think it's going to take over an hour. Alright, we're not even halfway through and it's taken 40 minutes, so... How many are they going to do Awakening for? I think, so far, the cadence has been two every month. So we had 2 1 month, then we had 2 more, and then we've got 2 more coming. You know? The next one's Cal, and that's going to be the duo with Lee, and then we're going to have Maggie and Glenn. And then after that, we haven't got any announcements. But your votes on that, the polls that I ran on my channel and that they ran on the Discord may affect which characters come afterwards. So we'll have to wait and see there. Did you do this week's Omid missions for losing loads of gear medals? Not yet. Why? I think I did some of it. Do the missions end soon? 3 days. This one. I have to do steel gear medals. I'm not going to do too much craziness. I'm going to pull for Rick tonight. And then I'm going to... I'll tear him up just with the 100. Or I might wait until next week. Actually, I might wait 3 days, whatever it is. I'll do it now with someone else. Who could I steel gear medal? Why? What's the insight, Steve? What's the insight? In the US, they have a stand-up to cancer challenge where you track the number you play. The number of hours of gameplay. Or what? Should put... Don't want to use any silver or anything else. So what tier is that? 340? Nope. Let's be the one before that. 280? 295? Okay, 320 is actual level up. Yeah. So I guess it's 295. Is there anyone who's decent at 295? Not really. These are all like... air quotes, not as good characters. I mean, I've got some characters down here that I could level up later. 340. Yeah, 340. Okay, he's a bit off. I might wait till I level up later. I've got... and just get the medals. Hours, okay. Since you don't have gear medals to waste. Ah, right, yeah. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I mean, I try and time it all at the same time. I try and time it all at the same time. Where's my gear medals? Show gear medals here? No. Shows them here. 270, 160, 30. Oh, we did have a reset somewhere, didn't we? Have we had a reset somewhere? Okay, I don't need any of this. That's too expensive to even bother. All season. I'll get the last copy. And then I'll wait. I'll get the Paragon one most likely. Faction Assault. 9 days I'll be able to get medals from this. This is expensive though. We can do that anytime. Bit shot. Did that refresh? Have I already bought it out? That's crazy. Yeah. There's no way to get medals really. Except Faction Assault. We'll get back to the roadmap. I want this stream to be a good example of how long this takes to do. It might speed up a little bit because there's humans to come, but yeah. See you later, Mr. C. Yeah, Blue Badge Hype. Thank you very much, bruv. I do appreciate it. 4 years, man. 48 months. It's a long old time. Would it have been better to place that mission on the last week to use the medals on Omid? I agree. I agree. Because don't you have to use medals in Omid's event? Like, so it's asking you to do it twice, isn't it, realistically? It's asking you to do it twice. Because there's a level up missions. Yeah. It's kind of scummy. I'll be leveling my Rick. Yeah, I'll wait until the missions reset. I've got crates from War, but I have been rinsing those. Like, I think I'm low. I think I'm pretty low. Took me like an hour and a half to do Lee Road map. They need a battle skip feature. The thing is, the reason that it takes so long is intended. This is intended gameplay, okay? Because if they're trying to make it like they want people to go, this takes too long. How can I spend to bypass this? That's the intention, right? But what they don't realize, this game is so old that the people who are like not gonna spend are not gonna spend, and the people who are gonna spend regardless. You know? But what this will have is a different thing happen, where the people who wouldn't spend regardless are now going to be like me, just saying this is taking way too much time, and start to either sacrifice parts of their gameplay or just will sacrifice the game. Honestly, that's what it feels like. 30 medal choice boxes cost 670 coins and you can buy it twice a week. Retland, how do you get these coins, man? Tell me the coin farm. Do you just watch videos and do like Tapjoy and stuff? Did that still work? 300 gold medals for 1,340 coins once a month. I mean, that doesn't sound too bad, but it's actually getting the coins. I guess you can get them if you're in diamonds. But yeah. I buy some of the gear medals with golds I get weekly. Yeah. Garth missions reset Wednesday, Elite Omid reset Thursday. I try to do as little as possible on Wednesday to get most of that overlap. Yes, same, pretty much. That's why I'm just doing everything I can right now, because I know it's going to count towards everything. 85 for the gearboxes. Gear is not a problem for me. I do actually do roadmap farm, world map farm reasonably well, and I have got a lot of crates with gear because I haven't used them for ages because my world map farm was really good. I don't world map farm as much now because I farm a different stage for armory stuff. So my world map farm's okay. Because what I do is I just leave the game open on a world map stage and I just will hit go every now and again. But now with all these road maps, all my energy and time is taken up by just doing the road maps. So I'm not farming stuff as much. So that's going to become an issue as well. I have 16,000 gold coins. Okay. Okay, buddy. Thanks for the likes on the stream, guys. Thanks for the likes on the stream. I do appreciate it. Up to 24. Thank you very much. If you are logged into YouTube, thumbs up works. I'm going to be that guy to ask this question. I can't really see what it says because it's getting blocked off, so I'll read it in just a second. For whatever reason, YouTube decided to add like a little icon that blocks off certain words and stuff. Only on the most recent comment though. Only on the most recent comment. They could have put that little heart sign like next to the chat box somewhere. I'll try and work it out. Okay, there we go. Personally to you, like, what are all the changes? Nah, can't be done. Let me just talk about one area of the game. There's so many changes that need to be done, and I'll be honest, nothing's changed in the last like 3 months that actively. I think most people would say rewards need to be changed, but I think rewards are due a change. But rewards changing scares me because I've played RTS for long enough that if they up the ante on what they give you, all I can think of is what's happening after that. what's about to change that's going to make what they just did irrelevant, because that's how they've done it so many times. Like, legitimately, they gave out, like, I think they changed the wheel once and they had, like, Erica in there, 6-star Erica, and all this stuff, and it was like, yo, 6-star Erica's gone in this wheel, oh my god, it's crazy. Literally the next day announced an S-Class. Like just one day, we got one day of everyone in free-to-play just going, yo, this is just bonkers, we're about to get the craziest characters, guys, this feels so good. 24 hours. 24 hours, that was it. That was it. And now Sophia's in the mythic market, and I'm just sitting there just like, yo, hold up. See, that's how I see things. That's how I see things, but, you know. They did that in S-Class, ready for Mythics. I mean, S-Class to Mythics was slightly different. They actually did it reasonably well, I thought, but it still lost about half the player base, I think, if not more. To be fair, I'm gonna guess Brett has like 25k plus coins when they became irrelevant. Is he got really soft skin? Is that what you're trying to tell me? Okay, we're just about to get halfway through. We just got past the halfway point and we've been streaming for 53 minutes. Let's say I've been kind of lounging a little bit, which is true. Let's put that down to 45. And they're selling the medals now? Yeah. Yeah. Half. Half what? Sorry, what did I do? What did I say? Hey look, I recently got back into the game after being away for 3 years. Well, there's a lot for you to catch up on. It should be quite a lot of fun to be had. Like, just in terms of pure gameplay, it's fun. If you war, that's where your pain will come from, honestly. But you generally don't have to war. You can enjoy the game and progress in the game and have fun in the game without warring. It's mad that I'm like telling you don't war because it's just crazy out here right now. But yeah, he said half the player base left off. Oh yeah, half the player base. Yeah, without a doubt, without a doubt. With the mixture of between S-Class and what's the other thing that happened in the course of the year? S-Class went to Mythics, and what else happened? What else happened? All-Stars came out in that year. RTS easily lost half its player base. Like, I can see in my analytics the drop-off in views is crazy. Now, I'm not trying to say like everyone in the games watch me, but a lot of people do. So if I'm seeing massive drop-off in viewership that high, especially as like a full-time streamer, you know, I can see how many people play other games because some of the metrics are published, and I can look at their content creators, like for instance in Raid Shadow Legends, and see how well their channels progress based on the player base. Hey, what's up, Bishal? Welcome to the stream. But it happened in every era. It happened in every era. The best era for RTS, though, guys, I will 100% say it was S-Class. It was the only era where RTS retained more players than it lost on a monthly basis very consistently. And I'm not talking by like 4 or 5%. It retained a lot more. Because the game was growing massively. The amount of people that were playing it was massive. And honestly, my stream went crazy in the S-Class era. I was having 150 to 200 viewers some streams, and that was just on normal streams. When it was like a battle pass drop, sometimes it would be like 350, 400 viewers, you know. It was crazy during S-Class, and it's just because you always felt like you were progressing. You always felt like you were working towards a character, you know. Everything was slow, like maybe it's slow, but every day you were grinding towards something. Now, Will Awakening potentially bring that back? I don't think it will bring that back too much. They're not as good. They're not that good. Is it because of shards? I think S-Class was because of shards. I think they could have done the shard system better, but during the 6-star era, I said literally all these other games, the reason they're having success is because it's a shard-based system. RTS needs a shard-based system, and I was 100% correct. Not to toot my own horn a little too much, but if I'm wrong, I'm wrong, I admit it. But shard-based system is a much nicer way of playing gacha games, in my opinion. It just feels good. Like, I'm playing another game right now called Watcher of Realms, not a shard-based system. I can already feel the issues I'm having with character progression in that game. Whereas if I was to play like, let's say, Marvel Strike Force, right? I know I could go into that game right now, and I could, within 2 weeks, I would be progressing on various characters, and I'd feel like my characters are progressing. I might even pick up 1 or 2 new characters. Free to play. Whereas you can't really do that in RTS. You can't go for specific ones realistically. I think, like I said, it's just a bit of an issue in the game. I'm going to blow up my own team, aren't I? There it is. There it is. Okay, let's see if we can not let him rush. Okay, he's rushing. Is everyone going to revive? Okay. It would be him. Out of everybody. Out of everybody. Is he just healing himself? It's not allowed. The accessibility of S-Class characters felt like progress. Yeah, I will say there was some scumbag stuff over S-Class characters. Or was that 6 stars? Actually, it was 6 stars. Because 6 stars were reasonably accessible too, right? That was, wasn't it? Or was Mercer S-Class or 6 star? The stun leader. He was S-Class, right? So there was some scumbagginess over it. Because what used to happen was Mercer became accessible free to play in the daily crates. And then by the time they had a calculation, 100% had a calculation, where they could work out roughly when free to play would get the character. And then after the first 2 wars most of free to play having Mercer as defense lead, they bring out a hard counter for that character. So free to play got an S-Class character for 2 weeks before they were hard countered. So like Jackie came out, then Axel Lee came out to hard counter her. And I actually made some content about this at the time because I was saying like free to play are having all these characters come out, which is nice, but they're getting hard counters, which means they're useless as defense leaders. And free to play just didn't have a lot of access to defense leaders. And the crazy bit was there was only 1 defense back then. And I said one of the free to play leaders that just has not become accessible since his event was Aaron. And I complained about that a lot. Eventually Aaron did become accessible again. So free to play had an actual defense leader. Because other than that it was like Pete Anderson. And Pete Anderson used to just get rolled by Priya, you know. So there were definitely downsides to the S-Class era, but that was just mainly based on Scopely's decision making on how they designed the characters around like counters and when free to play had accessibility. But it still felt like progress. It still felt like you're getting characters and, you know, working towards them. It just, yeah. And it's a feeling that you have the character, especially if you can, like maybe the character isn't really powerful, but it feels like good to have the base character. Yeah, I agree. I agree. That's why I love the MSF style. There aren't too many games that do it that way, unfortunately. I think Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes. It's actually funny. Galaxy of Heroes and MSF are really, really successful. Obviously, the game that they are is really successful. You know, Star Wars and and Marvel, 2 of the biggest brands out there, but still. Master Stun Leader was S-Class. Yeah. But like he came out, Wales had him, no counter, I can't remember if a soft counter came out for Mercer. I don't think one did. But then obviously the hard counter came out, which was... Oh no, was that Axel? That might have been Axel for the stun. And it might have been... Was it Magna for Jackie? That might have been the way it was, actually. I can't remember. Okay, we're going to try and save his rush for the next team, because he's rushing... Oh, actually, I can rush twice, can't I? S-Class Tiffany. Okay, yeah. Like, I'll be honest, there was a point in S-Class where I think it had the best war gameplay ever, because people used different defense teams where you could have one defense team only. So people had different defense teams. And even as someone who was free to play, I didn't have loads of different characters, but I had 3 decent attack teams. Now, I did save my coins quite heavily, and I did go in on very particular characters, and I did get lucky with one particular character that made all the difference, which was Michonne, the strong one. But like, that team, let's see if I can make it. This team was like peak RTS gameplay, just because it was a soft counter. It made me have to think, but it was strong, and I felt like I could win. You know, I know that sounds like crazy, but right now, teams are not strong. Attack teams are not strong. Like, they're not strong trait. They're just not good. They're just not good. You have to, like, it's more about their equipment rather than their synergy between the characters and stuff. So right now they're bad compared to back here. Is it 6-star? Okay. Okay, I can't make the team. I mean, I can. There also was strong trait. Okay, so this was my attack team, right? So it had Ivan Nova, who was free to play. She was in the League store, right? Yeah, League season. Then I had Brutus, who was an event character. Really hard to get in his event, but he was amazing. Then I did have 3 promos, but this one I grinded out. Some people got them from pulling. I grinded this character out from the crates and stuff like that. Was a great character. Then I had this guy who was another promo, but he was, I think he's actually the most viewed pull video on my channel. I can easily check this, actually. You're gonna hear some guy talking. It might be me. 1 second. Oh, it might be my live stream, so it might not actually do it. It might just not do it. Yeah, it's not gonna do it. That's good. So if I go to my videos, and if I go to my most popular videos, my 13th most viewed video of all time is me pulling for this character. 100 pulls, I got 14k views. That's pretty mad, right? The other one was a 10 pull for Clementine, got 11k views. Good days, good days. Anyway, so this character, I had to grind out the rest of his cards, but he was quite early in the S-Class era. But this is the one I got lucky on, and she was such a well-designed character. Her weapon, this one, made it so that 2 of my teammates and her got confused resistance for 2 turns. I didn't know who it was going to land on. So every time I fought against the Jackie team, it was always different, because sometimes it would land on Ivan Nova, and then with Ivan Nova I could give everyone focus for the next turn, and it would be good. Sometimes it would land on Brutus, and it would land on Alpha. Now I had confused resist on everyone as well, so everyone could fight, and it just felt like such a nicely synergized team. But it was a different fight every time I faced against Jackie. And obviously I'd have a strong attacks on one of the weapons. This was peak. This was peak against Jackie. Then I had like Erin lead against Javi leads. I had Priya lead against Pete leads. I can't remember what I used to do against Mercer. I think I had Mercer and I used to use Mercer against Mercer. I think that was like a tactic. That was the best period in RTS War, I think, where it just like in terms of there was teams to attack defense teams. Right now it's kind of a mess. The defense teams are crazy powerful. There's no synergy on attack teams. The defense teams have got mad synergy, so it definitely isn't a synergy in the game problem. It's just a synergy for attack team characters. It's mad. I mean, I honestly miss S-Class War, and that's crazy to say that, but that was a lot of fun. Until the end. At the end of S-Class, it was horrible because there was these characters that were coming out that were like so much better, just to milk a little bit of money before it went down to Mythic. I feel like the 5-star era before CW War was most interesting. The power of towers dictated who won a lot. Yeah, I think towers is a crap element in War. I said it. It had to be said. Towers is such a bad idea. I actually recommended like 2 years ago, I think, to like just have a weekend buff. This weekend, War's on. Just FYI, alert characters, 15% extra attack. And then everyone could be like, yo, this weekend, no matter what, we don't have to get a tower, but I can build an alert attack team and it will do better. And that way people will go, wait a sec, my stronger defense team will not do as good. Might want to switch things up a little bit. That way you could enforce like this would help free to play a lot, but Wales would just be like, yeah, my team's nuts no matter what. But I thought that would be good. Every weekend you could just buff at one of the attacks. Tough, strong, alert, fast, you know? But when it's on a tower, it isn't consistent, so it's hard to build a team around it, you know? Like the AP tower in War. There's probably some crazy team you can make if you get the AP tower, but it's so inconsistent that you're going to have it unless you're like in a team that completely dominates. And if you are in a team that completely dominates, you don't even have to care. Like, it's just like... anyway, this is the things about RTS, man. This is the things about RTS, it's mad. Oh, what's happened? I can't see stuff. My def is just... Exactly. I mean, if you're in the position that can say my def is just nuts, it doesn't even matter if they're getting a 15% attack boost. It just helps the people who get a 15% attack boost. That's all. And there are definitely people out there that will do that, you know? Make people think instead of the same old. I think just right now, it's just... Attacking's just brutal. And that's what with me, who has a lot of good characters, you know. I have a very high success rate in War, but I know there's people who don't. I'm mainly thinking about people who don't. And let's just say you weren't winning like 50% of your War battles. How much of that could you really take? At what point are you going to be like, yeah, this ain't fun no more, man? Like, I'm not having fun and I'm winning like 95%. Like, at what point? What point, man? And I know it's a little bit like, rose-tinted glasses and stuff, but I would say 5-star era War was bad. Especially near the end. It was very unbalanced. S-Class was just all-round the best era, for sure. And sadly, we're at the point where we can't really change it up at all, because the game just doesn't have those legs anymore. A new era would 100% kill RTS. I mean, actually, I don't think it would, but it would for me. And like, I've already told you guys before, if a new era came out, I'd be done. I wouldn't be able to survive. I'm like, I'm hanging on by like the skin of my teeth as it is. Another era would lose like another 30% of the player base easy. It'd be over. This is why you should generally listen to content creators when they talk about this stuff. I know it's obviously like, yeah, listen to me, guys. But the most content creators, what they want in the game is more players playing it. And surely that's not bad for the game, because more players playing it means more people are going to watch that content creator's content. That's it. That's it. Like, I'm watching content creators in another game right now, Raid Shadow Legends, and I'm just sitting here with popcorn because they've just had something happen in their game where they've had a new era put on them. They've had this thing called Primal, like they've got mythic characters now, like another thing above legendary, and there's a special like pull that you do to get that character, and I'm just sitting here with popcorn because I'm like, is this your first time? Because they're all like, this is crazy, we don't know what's going on, we don't know how the future is. I'm just like feet up like, yo, because they've never had this, and this could mess up the whole thing. This could mess up the whole thing for them. Some of them people get 40k views a video. If 50% of the viewer base just goes, that you're talking about someone who generally would make like 10 to 20,000 a month go down to like maybe like 4 or 5, which is a big change. I'm talking mainly about Hell Hades because that guy's massive in that game. But yeah, I'm just sitting on the sidelines going, nah, man, this is their first time at this. It's kind of interesting to watch, you know. I like that one more long ago where there was 100% attack tower. Things were over quick, one way or another. Yeah, I'm not so sure about that. But I'm saying, like, I don't think towers should dictate wars. There should be small bonuses. But I also think there should be like okay, hear me out, right? This War of Champions. What if they were to say, let's say, tough, alert, fast, and strong. Trait damage gets increased by 15% during War of Champions. I think that would be good for the game. Just during War of Champions, that means attack teams just have a slight better chance, like just do slightly more trait damage. So like if you're taking a strong character against a fast character, it will hit harder than before, just by a little bit. Just by a little bit. But yeah. RTS 2, yeah. It's never gonna happen. I also don't know what the new stuff they can add to for the new era. Nah. If a new era comes out, I'll quit the game. Just started back up playing again a year ago. Yeah. I think they have a chance if they change something within this era. Like Prestige, for instance. If they added a Prestige style system to this era, I wouldn't mind. I think that would be good for the game, honestly. If they added some sort of secondary combat mod style thing where like you dictated something with your character based on their role or their trait or a combination of the two, I think that would be good. And that's kind of what they do in MSF. But if they add an entirely new different tier of character, then no. Pricing for stuff is also insane for most part from Scopely. I will say it's probably not. I think it's just a gacha game thing, Hando. If you've ever seen other gacha games, all of them are crazy pricing. Everyone's got a battle pass that's 20 quid. You know, like $20, $25. Every single one of these games. This is not, like, at this point, you can't really blame Scopely for this thing. It's the industry. What I'm waiting for that company to come out who's like an amazing mobile phone game company, and they'll make the decision, hey, we know if we keep our player base happy, they will spend. Because that's true. Happy players spend. Look at the peak of League of Legends when they're making the most money, their player base was the happiest. Fortnite, same deal. And they never sold power. They always sold skins. And they were making billions. Making billions. The most important thing about games is having a big player base. That's the most important thing. The second you sell power, it reduces your player base, right? Because it creates a gap, and the people at the bottom say, hey, nah, I'm not doing this. I really did wish RTS had balance patches like some other games do. We did a little bit. We did have a couple. We had like Outlast get changed. We had taunt attacks give 5 AP. We had Guardian shields give 1 AP or something like that when they got broken. Whereas before this stuff didn't happen. And you can kind of say this was a balance patch, right? To a certain extent. Where it's like they just figured these things weren't working as they intended. And they kind of wanted these things to work a different way. And I think those things were actually good. I think taunt attacks giving extra AP is nice. I think Outlast working the way it does is nice. Obviously, it can be overpowered in certain ways in terms of like normalized resistance and then all the other stuff. But yeah, generally speaking, it is some of these changes have been pretty decent. But it's only happened like once or twice in RTS in like 5 years, in the last 5 years at least. Even something small like your legs cap never ends, maybe might retain people just to keep leveling. Oh no, I agree there. I agree there. The leveling system is balked in this game. I talked about it plenty where I said like the last level should just constantly go over and over and over again. Like make max level 500, and then when you get to 500 you just keep on leveling over and over again, but then maybe the max level takes 10 times more XP to get, and every time you complete it you get a crate, and the crate is random. Maybe you get a bit of coins. You just get random stuff from a certain pool. Basically like your daily crate, but it'll just be like a different pool of stuff. You can get maybe between like, I don't know, you can get like maybe one chance crate of advanced and one chance crate of ultra. And that's every like 20 million XP, which is crazy amounts. You'll be lucky if you do that twice in a month. But yeah, I think players who have played mobile games a lot could probably design some really good ones. You know? Unfortunately, I think developers do get the short end of the stick. Like, a lot of people point the finger at developers and go, you're doing a crap deal. A lot of the time they don't make the choice of what makes the game bad, right? They don't. They design a game to be good, and then some guy comes along. It's always some guy. And they're always called some guy. Every company has one. It's called some guy. And they go, yo, how are we making money from that? Because we've got to make money from that. You know that. And that's some guy's job. Every company, guys. Every company. And that's the guy that ruins the game. Just FYI. He's the one that ruins the game. Every single company. Unfortunately. That's some guy. I want to be some guy when I grow up, right? Oh my goodness. Like, I love buying the battle pass in Fortnite, and if I save up the V-Bucks I can get the next battle pass. Yeah, that was cool. That was really cool. So it actually, like, it kind of, you know, player retention was high. I remember I bought the first battle pass and I played it and I got maybe 5 or 6 battle passes in before I stopped playing. And I will say they probably kept me for an extra 2 or 3 battle passes just on the fact that I knew that if I kept playing I'd get the next one for free. And eventually, unfortunately, I just ran out of time because my time was going into other things, mainly like things like content creation and stuff. But yeah. Why would you want a character from the battle pass when you can get your 500th tough weapon? I don't want to like speak this into existence, but I'm really surprised there isn't like armor in the game now. You know, like a breastplate, leggings, gloves, helmet. You know, I don't want to speak that into existence too hard, but there was a poll once. Does anyone remember the polls before the game started up? And you could do the polls, and there was a question that was like bizarre. It was like, what would you feel about vehicles coming into the game? And I was like, what? How? What? Legit, I was just like baffled. How? Like, that wasn't an option. Like, how? I was just like, nah, man. That was the weirdest one, and that was about 5 years ago. Exactly, vehicles? It didn't make any sense. It didn't make any sense. They probably had an idea, and they wanted to just float out the idea, and the response was probably like, "What the hell are you talking about, bro?" It sucks. I do hope that the company can find a balance for it. I mean, we'll see. We'll see. The coming months are going to be quite important. I think, honestly, World Champions and the month afterwards are going to determine a lot in RTS. They have to make some solid decisions between now and World Champions, where players can see some valid changes and like quality of life future, you know. Like, if they were to say between now and World Champions, yo, these Awaken events, sorry guys, they are a bit too much. We're going to dial it back a bit. We're going to make the Axe roadmaps half as long. You know, Lockdown was right. There's no point making the Axe roadmaps so long when we also make the tokens roadmap so long. But guess what? We're going to make the token roadmaps 20% shorter as well. So instead of you doing 8 hours of gameplay per week, you know, trying to complete all these stages, you know, you're only going to be doing something around the region of like 5 hours a week, you know? If they did that, I think maybe players will feel a bit better, but I mean, World Champions is like the end point for a lot of people, so we'll see what happens. Because that's what the decision is. Do I stop after World Champions? It was a lot of fun. Or do I continue and then do all these roadmaps? I'm surprised they haven't added skins for each character yet. Because I mean, yeah, I think that would be great. Skins would be great for the game because they wouldn't have to power creep as much. They wouldn't have to power creep as much. But yeah, I talked about skins a long time ago, honestly. Like I said earlier in the stream, there was a call, and my thing was like introducing some way of making it so that you made money outside of selling power. If they would have done that, amazing. I'm not sure that realistic changes they could make would get vets excited about the game. Game is level up, raid war. I think what they have to do is make things harder to get, but worthwhile going for. Awakenings is a mixed situation. They're not even that great. They are okay, but they're not top tier, you know? I think Awakenings is helping people who aren't like heavy. I'm gonna just... We're gonna see what happens. I guess I hit payback. I definitely hit payback. Okay, he's going to Outlast. Ha! But we'll revive one of them. Yeah! But yeah. My idea would be like to make it so that... You know how Dwight is only available in one part of the game? And that is the SR depot. What about something like that? Where a character is only available in one area of the game. But it's hard to do. Or like it takes a while to do. But they're actually good. They're actually worthwhile getting. And the area of the game that it could be would be like introducing a new ascension system. You know, you ascend silvers into... Because like, me personally and veterans have a lot of excess silvers. And if you're not a veteran and you haven't got a lot of excess silvers, these awakening characters are probably good for you, you know? There's going to be very few people who are in like the middle of that where they're like, these awakening characters aren't good for them and they haven't got excess silvers. So like vets have excess silvers, they could introduce a unique tough, strong, alert and fast character that are only available from Ascension. And then put in like 2 other characters in there. Let's say one advanced and 1 gold mythic wheel. Make it fair odds. Actually like 100%, 33.33%. And then you just ascend the silvers into... That wasn't a good sound. What's not working? Okay, everything seems to be good. That's probably my external. Is that my external? Let me just check. It was indeed. Okay. Yeah, there's so many systems in the game that kind of still exist, but they just don't exist anymore. I've always thought about making a video, you know? Top 10 things that were fun, but Scopely took away. Because there's legitimately like 10 of them now. You said you don't like it, but I still think cross-region events beside war might make things fun with better rewards. I said as long as it doesn't replace regional events, if it's on top of, so for instance they have two like leaderboards, so you have a regional, one for your region and one for a global, that's fine. Have at it. Have at it. 100%. If you want to go for global leaderboard, go crazy. I personally wouldn't really care. I never really try and go like crazy in these events. I only try and win events if it's a requirement in the event, in a side event. Like I don't try and win tournaments unless it's a requirement in a side event. Like the last tournament I won was an SR tournament, but it was just to get Molly tokens for her stash. That was it. I wouldn't have tried to otherwise. You know? Good night, Hando. Thanks for tuning in, man. But yeah, I generally just don't try and like take rewards away from people. For one, I don't really care about coming like first or top 10. I'll score my level up points in the first 10 minutes. I'll be first place for like a couple of hours, and then I'll periodically be overtaken. It's like whatever. But I have no problem with a global leaderboard. Not at all. Not at all. But like, as long as it isn't the only thing. That's it. That's it. I'm still waiting for Lock idea where we can play a Walking Dead style D&D in chat. That would be sick, right? That would be sick. It's a dream of mine. Because I've seen other things that... I mean, it wouldn't even necessarily have to be fully like Walking Dead, but... Did he just attack them? Okay, no. They're just... Look how tanky these are. It's crazy because... I know some people are going to struggle with this as well, just in how tanky they are. Why have I got 35 AP on him? Oh, this is mad. I think she's got a stun infection, right? Okay, we're in trouble. There's nothing in the rewards worth winning events for now. Yeah, I think rewards are meant to be like tweaked in the future, but we'll have to see what happens, honestly. Just don't kill Kenny straight away. They didn't kill Kenny straight away, but I did. Hordes was a nice change of pace from usual game of RTS, and sucks they gave up on it. Yeah, I agree. 100% agree. Like personally, I think outside of World Champions qualifiers, War should only be once a month. Outside of qualifiers. Qualifiers can be a bit more intense every 2 weeks, fine. But they could do one CRW and then 2 weeks later do like a one blitz. So it's not as crazy and as over the top. And then they could also have alternated, like I always said, the other weekends where they don't have anything on, they could have put Hordes on one weekend and Onslaught on the other one. They don't even have anything going on these weekends. Hordes was good fun. If people don't want to compete, they don't have to. Make it so they don't give any league rewards, so that they don't feel like they have to compete due to leagues. And then just have it away. Remember the animated RTS ads? I mean, they're on the RTS channel. If you go to the RTS channel and link and list by views, their most viewed videos are their ads. with 5 million views each, you know? So they advertise this game really heavily, honestly. Really heavily. Onslaught broke the game. I mean, they could fix it, you know? And Onslaught was only an issue for breaking the game because some people got league bonuses because they were doing league attacks and getting league points. But if you remove the league points, if there's ever an issue there, it isn't as big a deal. It's just a bonus. You know? It doesn't have to, like, everything doesn't have to be attached to leagues. Everything in this game's just turned into PvP. What's the other thing they turned into PvP and made it trash? What was it called? Challenge Run. Challenge Run was one of the best pieces of gameplay that they introduced, like, at all in the entire history of the game. And then it got to a point, 240 stages, and you're wondering what are they going to do for that last version of the character. Tournament Run, and they just completely destroyed. Like, that's what I'm saying. That's where some guy came in and went, yo, about that challenge run, it's a bit too good. We need to make him some money from this. That's literally what happened. That's the difference between well-designed gameplay and where some guy comes in and says this part of the game needs to be made a bit more monetized. And see how crap challenge run is now? Tournament Run is absolute dog. It's just the most worst part of the game when it comes to comparing what it originally was. The difference between challenge run and tournament run is just like night and day, man. And that's because of some guy. It's always some guy. It's that dude. Every time. Every time, man. Man, I haven't finished this roadmap yet. This is absolutely crazy. I've been streaming for an hour and a half. All I'm doing is these stages, bro. I'm doing only this roadmap on purpose just to show how crazy long this takes. And this is each week. And we've got to do it twice because there's 2 characters. Oh my god. I like my 0 scores in challenge run. What do you mean scores? Don't you mean score? Because you're not getting more than 1 0 score, are you? Unless you're spending coins. I always like Hordes. I thought Hordes was good. And legit, the crazy thing about Hordes, we only had it like 5 or 6 times. We only had it like 5 or 6 times. They brought it out. We had it like 4 times during the era they brought it out in, which I think was the 6-star era. And then they brought out the S-class era. And they didn't even have forethought to just think about the fact that, hey, we're bringing out the S-class era. And they would have been designing these things at the same time. So that we would have been like, hey, we're bringing out the S-Class era. How's that going to affect Hordes? We're going to have to change their stats and stuff, right? They never did. And then later on we had like a special Hordes where we were allowed to only take 5 stars in. Which was quite good. That was actually quite fun. We only had that once. It was like a test run. But again, I actually genuinely think some guy was standing there going, bro, why is this not making any money? How can we make money from this? And they couldn't figure out a good way to make money from this without spending a lot of time developing it. And they were like, nah. In the bin. That's literally it. It just wasn't making money. They'd rather have no event running than a fun event. That just tells you something, man. Because Hordes was mad fun. And it was optional, because I don't think it affected leagues. You didn't have to do it. Some people didn't like it, they just don't do it then. That's fine. It's not like War, you can choose. It's a solo tournament. It's mad, bro. 6 times. Yeah, like 5 or 6 times. There wasn't more than 5 or 6 Horde tournaments. There was like the original like 2 or 3 to get Joshua. And then it didn't run too many times after that. But anyway. RTS is a special place in my heart. When I first played the game, and only mobile game based on the comics, not the show. I mean, RTS fundamentally is a good game, let's be honest. Like, that's the reason we play it. But I'm watching, like I said, I'm watching Raid Shadow Legends, right? Another fundamentally good game. And it's funny, they're saying a lot of the stuff that I heard people in RTS talking about like 4 or 5 years ago now. Where they're talking about the certain terminology they're using is like, the game has so much potential, but it doesn't feel like it's living up to it. I felt that way about RTS for so long. We talked about that years ago. It just feels like a game that's got potential. They're just not really utilizing that full potential. And I think I've seen a couple of people say this terminology about RTS a couple of times, and it's 100% true. Where they're penny pinching. I can't remember what the terminology is. Like, they're penny pinching, and it's affecting like them getting pounds, if that makes sense. Like, they're thinking about the pennies, like making small amounts of money quickly, rather than thinking about the bigger picture. I don't know how Scopely is when it comes to quarterlies and stuff like that anymore, but you guys remember how it used to be. You used to know if Scopely had a bad quarter, because then near the end of the quarter they just release a crazy character, or they would run some crazy like event which was massively monetized. Like, basically had to make money. So you used to just know. It doesn't feel that way as much these days, I will be honest. That is a better feeling, but I don't know. It's still heavy grind, man. Hey, what's up, Irish? Welcome to the stream. You think they would choose doing work over getting money? What? You what? No, it's called return on investment, right? It's called return on investment, and this is hard for development teams. If I say, hey, I've got this cool idea, Scopely, it would only take like 40 hours of development to do it, right? 40 hours might not sound like a lot of time, but let's say it takes 40 hours in total, but it would actually maybe take 3 people doing it for 40 hours. That's 120 hours. Then you've got to kind of figure out how much you're paying those people for that 120 hours. And then versus what would those people be doing with those 120 hours that you can guarantee money back. My idea might not guarantee. And they might not just think it's not a worthwhile return on their investment. 120 hours is a long time. Especially when you're dealing with professionals. And a lot of these guys are like, you know, heavily trained professionals a lot of the time. So they're going to be generally getting paid good amounts of money. Generally, you'd assume. Maybe not like hundreds of thousands, but you know what I'm saying. They're not on minimum wage, you know. If you ever quit RTS, would you keep making videos on a different game? I would love to continue being a content creator regardless of what happens with RTS. Whether it be my time ends just based on my feelings of the game. I don't think that's going to be anytime soon, by the way. I'm just frustrated with certain parts of the game. This happens in RTS, you know. I don't think RTS itself is ending anytime soon either. But I just feel like I'm saying, to continue being a content creator and to continue playing the game, I'm already considering options on withdrawing from certain types of gameplay so I doesn't affect me. Because I don't think I can play as much as I'm playing right now consistently for the next 6 months, for instance. I can't do these Awakening maps twice a week for the next 6 months. I've only just about done it for like the first month and a half. And it's killing me. It's killing me. Because it's not even about it like taking time as well now. It's not fun. It's not fun. I've been streaming for 1 hour and 40 minutes. We've been just rambling, but I've nearly finished one roadmap. Is this the last stage? It might not even be the last stage. I think this might be Act 9, guys. It feels like Act 9. It feels like Act 9. We'll see. Is this the last stage, or is there one more act? Is this the last stage, or is there one more act? Okay. Okay. We'll keep going. We'll keep going. We continue. We continue. So I've been. This is all I've been doing all stream. Is just this act. And I'm guessing there's people doing exactly the same as me, just doing acts, doing as much as they can. Now, I will be honest. I will be honest. I have taken my foot off the gas on RTS for the last, like, half a week, because I've been playing a new game, just having fun. But hey, what would happen if, like, someone just had, like, some important stuff to do for work, or they, you know, there was some issues with the family, and they couldn't play as much. I don't know, man. Not giving people much wiggle room, you know? That's what I'm saying. That's what I need to do, Grape. I need to watch a movie. I need to, like, dedicate a day where I watch a movie. I just sit here and chill out. Because movies are fun. Movies are enjoyable. I watch a movie while doing, like, a roadmap. That's what I need to do. Every week. Probably on a Friday. Feels like a good night. Friday night, chill out, watch a movie. Just do as much of the roadmap as possible. Or at least of one roadmap. Because I won't even remember that I did it as well. But yeah. It's been good just ranting here, guys. I do appreciate you listening to me rant about everything. I've been streaming a little bit longer than I expected, but yeah. RTS for me was like a game to play when I'm out and about and I want to have a little something. I mean, I used to play it when I first started playing for like 10 minutes when I woke up, 10 minutes when I went to bed. And then, like, I just got more and more and more into it. I'll be completely honest, I just got more and more into it. I ain't ashamed to say that. And then I got Clementine from her promo. I've told this story a bunch of times, but I got Clementine from her promo. And I was just like, yeah. Oh, he's gone. Rest in pepperonis. Oh, you got 13k hemorrhage. Uh-oh. Okay, oh, he nearly bit the dust. She's got hemorrhage, she should die. There we go. Let's try and get another rush. Oh, did he kill him? Right. Hey, there he is. There he is. Did he not get AP from killing him? His specialist skill didn't work. Bizarre. Oh, right. I think that's the thing where, like, if his specialist skill worked the turn he died, it doesn't work again or something like that when he gets revived. Please don't take him out. Good. Because he's about to nuke your whole team, bro. We love a good moan. I can just picture someone sitting there while they listen to me moan going, yeah, that's what I mean. That's what I'm talking about. I feel the same way. I like the game, but it's just annoying me at the moment. That's pretty much where I'm at. And I will be honest, this isn't the first time I felt this way. And generally when I feel this way, it does get better. Because if I'm feeling this way, then a lot of people are feeling this way. I'm pretty thick-skinned when it comes to this stuff. But if it's starting to frustrate me, there's going to be some proper thin-skinned people going to be whining about it like non-stop, like for the last 3-4 weeks, you know? So, generally speaking, that's when Scopely would change stuff, is when people like me start whining about it. Not me in particular, just like people with my, what's the word? My, level of frustration. Or like, how much I can take. I'll always say it's an hour game. I mean, I feel that. You can't do much with war in an hour, unfortunately. That's just it. People with your constitution, yeah, that's it. I mean, I'm pretty laid back. Some people hate that about me, that I'm pretty laid back and chilled. That I don't get angry enough at a lot of the time, but I just, that's not my life, man. That's why I've still got hair on my head, you know? Just gonna be honest, full head of hair. Yeah. Don't forget about how much power you have. I mean, it isn't about necessarily me specifically saying stuff, but it's just like people, like when I said, like people in my constitution. This game made me bored. That's what I'm saying. How many of you started this game with hair and now don't have hair, guys? Where's your reparations for that? You should be getting a wig in the post. I'm sorry. I'm laughing at you guys, but it's brutal. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry right now. Oh goodness. I stopped playing because of how annoying it was to craft weapons. I'm gonna be honest, I don't really craft weapons that much these days. I don't craft weapons that much. I can't, for one. You just don't get enough materials to craft weapons too consistently. I stick to the weapons I've got, you know. I don't buy the battle passes that often, so I don't get any weapon, but if I do, I focus it. Yeah. League store, sometimes a good weapon comes in. Like that weapon that I got for Raven with the damage while stunned on the tough weapon. Instantly upgraded that one because it's good. We're so close, guys. And we're going to beat the 2-hour mark. Do you know... Look, do you know why they never increased the size of your base map to add more storage and training grounds? I think they have done it once in all the years I've played the game. Storage in the training grounds. You get more storage as you go up in prestige. So like, realistically, there should be a lot of Prestige 14s right now who have played for a long time. Do you remember when Prestige came out, guys, and we're like, oh, it's going to take people like 9 years to get to Prestige, like 15 free-to-play. We're nearly there. We're in 8th year. We're close. There's going to be some Prestige 15 people soon who are completely free-to-play. Air quotes, soon, but still soon. I don't know what my Prestige is right now. I think I'm like maybe 15 or 16. I don't know. But I have seen some people's Prestige, guys. There's like some Prestige 25 guys out there. But it's all skill. It's all skill. It's a skill-based game. Skill-based. Skill-based, guys. Maximum skill. Do you... sorry, yeah. Raven with the M4 is a beast. Right. Especially if that M4 is upgraded correctly. Man, I upgraded it a particular way and she's monstrous. Absolutely monstrous. They expanded the base area when they expanded the world map. Maybe I'm not misunderstanding what was said. To add more storage. Base map. Oh, you mean... Oh, sorry. You mean your town. They expanded your town. Your town is completely maxed now. Like... Do you remember, like, for the first 4 years of the game, it was like 80% of it you could see. And the other part was boarded up. They never got around to it. I'm only P13. Yeah, but you've been missing your login streaks, bro. So you're not getting prestige. Man logs in every other 2 days. Wonders why he's not going up in prestige. I just roasted you so very hard there. What's up, TK? Welcome to the stream. Town, yeah. Why they don't expand it? I mean, it is expanded. It's expanded as much as it really can. They'd have to give you like a second town. Maybe they could give you like an underground sewer. That's only this year. I mean, that counts for a lot. If you can tell me that Telltale Luke will be a character soon, I will be a member. Telltale Luke will be a character soon. Join up. Now, you don't know whether I'm telling the truth or lying now. But I did say it, and you said that you would join if I said it, so... We'll see. We'll see. Because if I'm right and you don't join, then you're the liar. But if I'm lying and you join, then I'm the liar. Time will tell. Time will tell. What's it gonna be? What's it gonna be? What's it gonna be? How are you gonna play this out? How are you gonna play this out? What's your moral compass gonna be like with this one? How are you gonna play this? How are you gonna play this? How are you playing this? You said that and a random ad popped up. Thanks, YouTube. I appreciate it. You're making me 2 cents. I appreciate it. Are we going to beat 2 hours, actually, guys? These walker stages are coming in right at the end. I said to Cygnus at the beginning of my stream, I'll only probably be streaming for an hour and a half, but I got in my head that this was a good idea to just time how long it takes to do this. And it's mad. 5 seconds for 2 cents. I was being 100%... I was overshooting that, by the way. 2 cents. I'd be very surprised if I got 2 cents out of that. I'd be very surprised. 1,000 ads generally makes me around about $1. Like, if I'm lucky. Sometimes it can make me more. Sometimes 1,000 ads can make me maybe $5. Sometimes I can get lucky. I do wish they added older obscure characters like Arvo from the Telltale games. I mean, Season 2 just happened. We have got a few Season 2 characters already gone. We'll have to see. I mean, like you say, bit obscure. Okay, we completed the roadmap, guys. It took 1 hour 55 minutes on my stream, but let's round that down. 25 minutes. We're just chatting, and I'll switch into other things for a second. Hey, there we go. Look.
Sounds good.
Nathan's back. Okay, now it's on me. Now it's on me. Nathan's like, I wasn't lying, but was I lying? Well, time will tell. Time will tell. Time will tell. I can neither confirm or deny whether I was lying yet. I'll tell you at Christmas. I'll tell you at Christmas. Man, my word, I do appreciate it. I do appreciate it. I assumed it only went to Prestige 21. Can't see what 22 levels includes in my tab. No, you just get a new Prestige with no extra rewards. If you can't see it, but when people entered that giveaway, where the first 50 people to complete, like get the avatar, they had to post their account, just their profile picture, like this. What I'm doing right here. Like this. And it shows your prestige. Okay, I'm 14. Okay, I'm not as high as I thought it was, but I'm 14. There were people who are really high. Really, really high. So I'm nearly 15. What do I get at prestige 15? How long away is that as well? Let's be realistic. 100 days? Less than 100 days. 85 days. So I'll have it before the end of the year. I'll be prestige 15 by the end of the year. 15 gets me 2. I get to wait. Oh no, I don't even get to skip. They just automatically complete. I don't know what that means. 14% world energy regeneration over 12%. Yo. Build reduction time on the buildings. My entire town is already completely maxed. Training supply generation rate has gone up from 80 to 85%. I've completely maxed out my lieutenant system, so that doesn't make any sense. And then we get 20 extra golds on every single gold. So that's the only one that actually is going to help me. Unless any of these other ones change. Nope. Nope. My daily prestige crate will change though. This is my current daily prestige crate. Which I don't even notice, I'm going to be honest. But my new one. I could actually, that's not too bad actually. I say I've got quite a lot of tickets, but I know some people will be looking at it going, yo, tickets. Arena tickets. Arenas. That's not bad. What's the top crate like? Look, it gets big. Look at that. Look at that. So it looks the same as mine, just slightly better, like prestige. Very similar. I've got to wait to prestige 16 to get the avatar. Yeah, a lot of that's not doing much for me, I'm going to be honest. A lot of that is not doing too much for me. I'm only prestige 20, but as you say, it's mostly skill, mostly. Only prestige 20. Only. What's your total prestige, Clam? What's the number? Oh no, it doesn't show you total anymore. They removed total prestige, I think. Yeah, okay. Because they didn't want people like working it out. Like how much, yeah. I think, is it 250k per level? That means you're legitimately like over 1 million prestige ahead of me, Steve. Right, 1 million. Let's just check something out quickly. 1 million prestige ahead of me. Buying the full coin pack gives you 6k. Okay, one sec. That means you spent around about £16,000 more than me. About 20,000, like 18 to 20,000 more dollars, or thereabouts. You know, it's mostly skill though. It's mostly skill, but that is a pretty nice card right now. Not to call you out, but and I'm gonna say Prestige 20, not that high, bro. Prestige 20 is not that high because there are Prestige 25 dudes out there. There are Prestige 25 dudes out there. But yeah. I'm only Prestige 12. I think you can't have been playing from when the game started. I know Moon didn't play from when the game started either. I'm not sure how they actually did that because I can't remember how they did Prestige when it first came out. Like they gave people old stuff. I can't remember exactly. I can't remember. It's been a while. It's been a while. I know they kind of said, we'll give you this much prestige for before Prestige came out, and they gave it to everybody. It was retroactive, but it wasn't properly retroactive, was it? I won't say my second. They got Prestige 19 on your alt as well. Bro, the alt's meant to be free to play. As fun. Alts, you're never meant to spend on alts. Never. Like, even I didn't do that when I had 2 accounts. Only one of them. Actually, I used to buy Battle Pass on both of them. I used to buy, but see, as a content creator, it's a bit different. I used to buy the Battle Pass on one straight away at the beginning. And I used to, like, do it as a stream thing. And then I used to buy the Battle Pass on the other at the end. And then do it as a video, like, buying the Battle Pass, showing what I get out of it, da-da-da-da-da. And the video used to generally pay for the Battle Pass and get me a little bit more. So, like, that was fine from my perspective as a content creator, but I don't know, man. It's up to you, of course. It's up to you. Okay, what do I have to do today? What do I have to do? 17 days, 4 days, 7 days, 3 days, 3. Done that one. 22, 3. Okay, we're good. We're good. We don't have to do anything today. There's a raid tournament starting tonight, maybe? Or is it? It's going to be SR tonight, isn't it? So we're just going to do some natural raids right now. Some sweet natural raids. I took a year break. That'll do it. That'll do it. The sweet natural raids. Oh, it's faction raid, is it? Okay. Okay. I'll take your word for it, Sinus. That's good. So I think I've done the SR one already. Oh, maybe oh yeah, I have. This mission is going to start being an issue, I think. This one. 100 talent upgrades. I think free-to-play are going to struggle to do this. And what you're going to have, yeah, I reckon you're going to have free-to-play doing this. Right? They're going to go onto their silvers. Or their Duke Golds. But whatever. And they're going to start doing this to get that mission done. To 4. So all they're going to use is a bit of military supplies. And they're going to have to do this 20 times, right? No, 25 times. So it's going to cost them all these resources because they're not going to have enough trainers to do this. They're going to run out of trainers. They're also going to run out of gold mythic characters to upgrade because you've got to do 100 skill upgrades per week. And sure, it crosses over 3 missions. That's great, but free-to-play are going to struggle here. 100%. I mean, I think even Wales will struggle on that. I mean, a lot of the time they may pull a new character every week, but still. My prestige training was originally my ult, but I found the pool luck was 0 point better, so I swapped them over. Mostly just subscriptions and the old pools. I think you're underplaying the odd pools, but yeah, I'll give it to you. Will I be good to get all of the Omid if I miss the 300 war battles? Yeah, I think you're fine to get all of Omids. You can get 25.2k in this event. 25.2k. Omid costs 20k. It's just if you want to pick up the katana, and you also obviously want to, you know, you want to get an offer. Some of the offers aren't bad. Like that offer is only $10, and that would take you into the realms of getting that weapon, and it's cheap. Air quotes. It's cheap, and also, but that's what I think they want you to do. They want you to spend $10, and they want to try and get $10 out of everybody that they can. You'd also be able to get a Paragon model too out of that. You could see that being worth it. If you're gonna buy that offer, though, I would buy on the web portal. Just because on the web portal you could probably get along with a mission and then maybe get like 2,000 advanced tokens as well. Would you buy said offer? Maybe at the end of the event. I don't buy offers at the beginning because I don't know how well I've progressed. At the end of the event I might buy it if I know that that would be enough for me to get what I wanted. Right now I don't know if it would be. I mean, I assume it will be, but I just don't know. It's kind of like the battle pass. I generally don't buy battle passes at the beginning of them. I buy them near the end. So that being said, what I'm going to do is... Oh, you don't actually have to do the roadmaps before to do this. We're going to do a stage or two of this, and I'm going to claim the weapon right now. I'm claiming the weapon first. It's just because it will instantly upgrade one of my team's war champions. And war in general. And it will upgrade the team that's the best of mine. So I might as well get it, right? I don't know which character I'm going to put on, though. I'm not sure which character I'm going to put on. Should I put this on Carl? I think he's in that team. But this one only lasts a day. I mean, there'll be other offers. And if there aren't, then they're going to be losing money from me. That's how I always think about it. If they don't want to provide me with an offer when I need it, then they're not going to get my money. You got Omid in the weapon? Did you buy a lot of offers then, Kathy? Or did you get one Omid? All these new characters and I have very few silvers. And you said you only play an hour a day, so you're not going to be grinding events out and getting everything you can from events. Okay, how much am I getting from these? I need to do 10 stages. Gonna watch Rick preview. Take care, Mark. Hoping Scopely gives out more of those in 20s for the missions. Well, now I am, yeah. I got all 5 copies of Omid. Okay, so did you buy a big offer or lots of small ones? 200 silvers. I've got a bunch of silvers too. Some people have just got a lot of silvers. Especially if you play the game a lot, you're going to have a lot of silvers. I did a triple pull on Rick and got 5x5 on the first try. Never got that luck before. Never do triple pulls, man. I know people say, oh, I get more luck on triples pulls than singles. It's just that isn't how it works. What you get is kind of like semi-predetermined. You know? Just so that you can't cheat. Semi-predetermined. Sometimes it can bug out. Very rarely, but sometimes it can. I pulled... Does anyone remember when I did a 40 pull on stream? And then I did another 40 pull and it gave me exactly the same pulls. Like 100% identical. Fortunately, I did have a dev from Scopely watching and they saw it. And they were like, yeah, that was bugged. Very rare. I've been playing for 8 years and it only happened to me once. The Duke 40, it was random as hell, man. It was the weirdest thing. I got a meeting and Katana. I only bought the $15 offer and a 10. There we go, there we go. I generally recommend, if you're going to spend on this game, Battle Pass, event items, like event stuff. That's the best places to spend in terms of bang for your buck. The worst places to spend, Advanced and Ultra Will. That's where you become a whale. Spending on characters, it's like spending for spending coins. Back in the day, I never recommended buying coins because that's where like your money goes quick. No guarantees. You know, even in these mods, there's not guarantees, but there's reasonable guarantees, you know? You're generally going to get something in a couple of mods that's usable somewhere. Generally. You could legit do 30 pulls and only get pays on these wheels. I do singles and getting out, yeah. I've had a Duke 40 pulls twice and got coins back from support. Yeah. Yeah. Weird ones. Because they can even see that it's a Duke 40. They know it's wrong. And I think it happens when your internet connection has an issue and it doesn't process that the last 40 actually occurred. And like I said, your pulls are slightly predetermined. just so they can. It's called I think it's called provably fair, where they can prove what you're getting is what you're meant to be getting, and that's why they can ban people. How many stages I do? I don't think I did enough. I did 5. But that's why they can ban people. What are the missions that I have to do as well? Is there a quicker mission that I can just quickly do? And there's that one. We can do some of that. Oh no, I already did some of that. Do you remember the weapon stuff where they could see the upgrades on a weapon? That's it. That's a little bit different. I need 100 more. Okay, but with mods, there are people who roll around with perfect mods, and then they can look at the mod and they can see, actually that mod's not meant to have those stats. It doesn't actually matter what stage I do. I have to do everything. That mod's not meant to have those stats. Because we can prove, we can see what it's meant to have, because mods always have the same outcome. That's why when people say, oh, we should be able to reset mods to re-roll it, it would always become the same thing, because it's got set stats to prove, like, if someone tries to hack them. If there's a dev in here, add a zombie to the game as a weapon. The way this game works, right? Because you know RTS don't like own the rights to Walking Dead, right? They don't get to just choose whatever they want to do. If you're making a game on Star Wars, you're making a game on like Marvel, or you're making a game on The Walking Dead, as the case may be, you can't say what you can do with the certain characteristics of the game. They will design something, but they will have to present it to the people who own the IP, which is the intellectual property of the game, which is The Walking Dead is owned by what are they called? Damn, I've forgotten their name. Does it begin with S? Not Scopely. What are they called? Skybound. That's it. Yeah, they own Skybound. Yeah. So Skybound owned the intellectual property of The Walking Dead. So the RTS most likely will have to message Skybound and say, "Hey, we've come up with an idea for this particular character. It'll be very early stages of design. Is this okay?" And Skybound will probably just come back and say, "Yo, this is fine. This makes perfect sense with how this character's meant to work. Thumbs up." And it'll be probably a very easy system. But then they might come back and say, "Yeah, no, we don't want this. We can't have a character represented this way." And it could be something minor. It could be something really strange, but Skybound just don't want it, even if Skybound don't want it, even if Scopely think it's a good idea. And it could be something very minor. Like, undead characters make a lot of sense. Like, they could have brought out, like, imagine all the characters that have died in The Walking Dead, bringing them out as walkers, as characters. Now, I reckon Scopely came up with that idea and thought this would be a good idea. They probably took that to Skybound, or for whatever reason, Skybound were like, "Nah, we don't want that to be the representation of that character. They become a walker, but we don't want them to be identified as a walker, you know?" Exactly, undeadly. Exactly. That's why I think we've never seen zombie characters. Until we had Hordes, which was very different, but the way I think they probably sold that to Skybound was, you are the Whisperers. And they could have easily remarketed Hordes and called it the Whisperer Wars, you know? And then just rebranded it, recalibrated the stats, created new characters. They could have created a deck system where, like, you get cards and it's a permanent buff to your current cards. They could have sold decks. So, like, when the event's on, there'll be a new wheel, so you could upgrade the card system. Basically make a side game within their own game. They had that opportunity, they just binned it. They just binned it. And that half the work's already done there. Hordes was great. Hordes was great. And they had such a good opportunity to make money there as well. But again, 100% someone from Scopely would have said exactly what I said, because it's not like a new idea. But then they would have gone, how long is that going to take? Is it guaranteed to work? And they would have said, what we've got right now works. It's better we spend our time doing what we know. Like, in terms of, when I say works, I'm talking about that some guy will say, what we're doing now makes money. That's what works. And that's every gacha game, guys. Every gacha game. The only game when it's not like that is like Raid Shadow Legends, right? They can do whatever they want. Whatever they want, because they own the IP. But it's rare that you can have a game that where the developers own their own IP that is successful, because generally it's not a brand, it's not a good brand. But Raid Shadow Legends have done something crazy with their game. They've managed to build such a brand. Like people, Raid Shadow Legends is its own brand, you know? So like aspects of what Raid Shadow Legends have done is great, but their gameplay still suffers from the same issue where some guy comes around and messes up stuff, but yeah. As you could have a Whisper cards and what exactly. And then you could have maybe skill points in that, make it very basic, and decide where you want to, what cards you want to spend your skill points on to upgrade their power. Easy money maker. And you only run it once a month. So like, the next time it comes around, your cards are still as powerful as they were last time. I don't know. It just seems like, I don't know. For me, it seems like a mess up, but it is what it is. Okay, how many stages have I done now? I just want to buy this weapon. How much did that weapon give? 20% defense per strong character, right? So on a full strong team, it'll be 100% defense. Or do I give it to Princess? Maybe I give it to Princess. I can't remember what Princess base weapon is. I can't remember what Princess base weapon is. I'll have to just think about it. It's like Zack Snyder's new film coming out, Rebel Moon. It's not Star Wars. Apparently there was a character in some Star Wars thing that was really amazing. He might have been like a bad guy. He was like reasonably old and he had like grey hair and beard. And I think he was a Sith, like I say. And he played the role amazingly well. But unfortunately the actor passed away. And it was like one of the shining lights of the Star Wars brand recently, and he didn't really get to see his character. Pretty sad. Base weapon is nothing, yeah. It's just whether it's better than someone else's idea. I can't remember it. I can't remember what this current weapon has other than the strong defenses. I cannot remember. Ray Stevenson, dude played his part. Yeah. Apparently it's just like nuts. Like his acting was meant to be really good. Like just his presence and the way he talked and the way he moved. Just small things. Just played his part so well. I think I've done it. Let's have a little look. We should have enough for the weapon. I am prioritizing the weapon no matter what. Whether we get enough Omids or not, we'll have to see. The weapon is it for me. It is the dogs from this. It also is cool saying cool. It's only a better chance to do absolute defense. So it's only 35%. But it is what it is. It's a strong weapon, you know. It's a strong weapon. Okay, let's see who it would work on. Let me go to my strong defense. This is about to get a big buff. Because I have a fully strong team. And this defense is my best defense by quite a margin. It's the only one I've worked on recently. Wherever it is. Where are war defenses? So it's Carl, I think it's Carl who currently has this weapon. Or it's her. I think it's one of those two. Yeah, she's got the worst weapon. I think it's her. I think it's her, right? Okay. Let me send out the alarm. People can test out that team. Wait, who does it have in it? Do I have Rosie in that team? I do. Proper scumbag in it. Challenge me. Let me just check my team. I want to see the defense. I get it straight away, right? Because it's the beginning of turn, or is it the beginning of their turn? Okay, let me just... What's the defense rating that they get? 100% defense. It's a shame that it's not at the beginning of the battle. Obviously, that'd be mad OP. But yeah, their buffs are good. 100% defense. Even when she gets stunned, it works. Let me check. Is that true? Yeah. Even when she's stunned, 100% defense happens. So the stun only stops the 3rd slot, not the 4th slot. Look how controlled my attack team is right now. I haven't even attacked yet. Taunted, stunned. Obviously there is some bypass for this, but when it's 75% attack, yeah, that works. I need to make her much harder to hit. I don't know. I'm semi-thinking about giving her an absolute defense weapon. Because then she's just much harder to take down. Oh, but I need to be careful there. Where did they come from? I don't know where they came from. Green Easter Jesus. Yeah, I've got him in a different team, so I can use it on him in that team. But only strong characters get the buff, right? No. Does everyone get the buff, but it's based on strong characters, or is it only strong characters that get the buff? Right now, he's not the only strong character. Let me read it. Strong defenses. At the start of each turn, all other teammates get defense based on strong characters. So everyone gets the buff. So maybe I could fit another strong character in here somewhere. There's not really anyone who could truly fit in. No, not really. Like that cookie cutter team that I'm using is like, you use 5 of like 6 characters and Jesus is one of them. Unless I like throw in... No, not really. Discards. Gotta figure out something there. What if you sub Jesus for Rosie there? Yeah. I was kind of using Rosie in the other team because Rosie protecting... I think Rosie protecting Alpha is really good because Alpha's like the most dangerous character in this team, but she is the most susceptible to just getting hard nuked off of turn 1. Because if Alpha goes off and starts doing her stuff, she's really powerful. It's just keeping her alive, right? It's just keeping her alive. Like, I don't want Cliff to be here. Let me see if I've got any other tough characters. I think Andre... I think I need to just get rid of one of my defense teams. Like I've got Telltale team that I can throw together, but I think I'll keep this leader. I don't want to do that. I'll forget. I've done this before. I'll just put him in there for the time being. I need to make the Telltale defense team properly. Because I've still got this team, which is actually still does reasonable, but I think most people have got the number of defense teams now. And I could probably split up this team wherever it is, my tower team. Because I think Eris on a Clementine team is really good, and then Lao Po can go in a different team, maybe a new tower team. Because I think Wang Fa tower team leader is one of the best leaders, because you just don't know what the hell's going on that team, and it can't be burned bled no matter what. I just got to figure out what to do. So I could just leave him here, leave her here, take her out. Yeah, I gotta figure it out. I'm definitely gonna do something before this War of Champions, but I don't know when. Cliff doesn't have any mods on him. I don't know. My defense teams are kind of all over the place. He might not have any mods. I've only worked on one defense team properly. Like, remodding is tough. It takes too long. I just haven't put in the effort. Yeah, he's got no mods, but he's still got decent stats. A lot of these characters might not have any mods, honestly. I'm not sure. Okay, so most of these have got mods. Cliff's stats not too bad considering he's got no mods though. It's like if I'm going to split up this team, which I'm most likely going to do, then PK and Andre get the option. They could go on to that other team, onto here. So I can put PK and Andre here. Which would make this team much tankier. Much tankier. $70k defense on Alpha. Still working on her weapon as well. Then I can throw like Nor. And Sebastian onto one of these teams. Let's think about the other team. Where is she? Don't have level Krista at all. Unless Krista's a control character, which she definitely could be. I need to remod these for defense because they've got HP leads now. Otherwise the HP's get, oh, they already modded for defense. And maybe Omid if I get him. I need another defensive character, I guess, to go here. I think I have this guy for the time being though. Don't think he's in any team. Where is he? He's not crazy leveled up by the looks of things. I'm just blind though. I still got roles selected. I think he's a tank. There he is. There he is. And he can hold that. Wait, how many? Oh, we got alert characters. So we can do the alert one instead. His base weapon. He can hold War Champion's weapon. She can hold. There's no damage over time reduction in this team though. That's a problem. Problem to think about for another day, I guess. I need to mod her. I don't think she's modded. Oh no, she's modded for HP though. Yeah. Something along those lines for the time being. I just got to put some proper time into it. I've already put time into 1 or 2 teams. That's it. Zoo on that team would be good. I have got Zoo. I also have Joshua. So I can maybe throw Joshua onto some teams. I have to think about it. I think that Alpha shouldn't have been strong. Defense lead. I think she should have been fast. Fast and tough, not strong and tough. Where is she? I think she should have been fast and tough. It would have been much nicer, in my opinion. It is what it is. It is what it is. It is what it is. I don't think anyone challenged my team, did they? No, we might get challenged. I did do it, right? Alright, someone else did a challenge, to be fair. To be fair. To be fair. How didn't I get a crit on Carl out of all that? That is mad. Die, bro. The 60% absolute defense weapons doing work. So okay, 60% absolute defense just extended that fight by like 4 turns. One weapon, man. Just one weapon. 200 to get Rick's hatchet. Oh, is it the new weapon that's coming out? It's the standard now, though, isn't it? That's how they get the money. The weapons are proper well bait. Those kind of weapons are proper well bait. And I think it's based on certain people saying stuff like loose lips, you know. They let Scopey know that they can't miss a weapon, so now they're just putting good weapons in there for $200. But yeah. That's it in my stream, guys. That's it in my stream. 2.5 hours. I streamed about an extra hour than I expected to. I shall be streaming on Thursday. I will have some content out between now and then. I'm going to do some pulls for Rick, which I'll release the video of tomorrow. We'll see if we can get fortunate with Rick. Save as many tokens as possible. The more tokens I save, the more pulls I can do in the future. That's how it works. But that's it. Thank you very much for the likes on today's stream. Lots of likes, 43. If you haven't liked the stream, 7 of you left. can get us up to 50 likes. We haven't hit 50 likes in a long time, so that'd be great. But yeah, thank you very much for tuning into this stream today, guys. Thank you very much for tuning in. And as always, keep on surviving, guys. Keep on surviving. Goodbye, goodbye, guys. Goodbye, goodbye.